Good morning, welcome to Catex TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Wednesday, January 14th, 2015. If you want to follow us on Twitter, go to Catex TV. The 3 million edition run of the current Charlie Hebdo magazine has sold out in Paris. It's impossible to find it anywhere, apparently. Meanwhile, Al-Qaeda in Yemen has claimed responsibility for the attacks in France. French police still continue to hunt for other members of the terror cell. In reinsurance, throughout 2014, total insured losses from natural disasters apparently came only to $39 billion. This is a 38% dip below the 10-year average of some $63 billion. This is according to the broker Aon Benfield. Economic losses also dipped. These would be losses that were not insured. They dropped about 37% down to about $132 billion from the average of $211 billion. The two biggest cat events that were insured occurred in Europe and the U.S. A severe thunderstorm in Europe in June, which cost about $3 billion in insured losses, and a May U.S. thunderstorm that cost about $2.9 billion. Meanwhile, on the economic loss, uninsured, September flooding in the northern parts of India and Pakistan resulted in an economic loss of a staggering $18 billion. There's not enough insurance penetration there. That's part of the opportunities that the industry keeps talking about. Meanwhile, Fitch Ratings continues to remain negative on the London non-life insurance market. They classified the non-life London reinsurance market as negative back in December. They're continuing it. 37% of the London market is made up of reinsurance. Fitch noted that only a portion of this is exposed to the reinsurance lines of business most affected by pricing declines. Pricing declines, Fitch expects, continue to dip. Meanwhile, as evidence of that, Liberty Mutual, one of the biggest buyers of reinsurance in the world, managed to place a 3-year catastrophe reinsurance cover. It took advantage of the ultra-soft property cat market in the January renewals. Sources had said that Liberty had upset a number of reinsurers by pushing for a 3-year renewal, with supposedly a number of reinsurers in London saying, no thank you, we're not going to participate. Reinsurers have written multi-year deals in 2012 and 2013, but a 3-year deal would lock in the current low rates until the 31st of December 2017. Sources said that Liberty secured a reduction of about 10% on its treaty. Only 2 non-core reinsurers elected not to participate. Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's company, has written 100% of QBE's global cat aggregate and risk aggregate cover, cutting out the entire rest of the market. The exact structure of the deal written by Berkshire is not known, but last year the Australian company QBE bought $875 million of aggregate limit across 3 treaties. Sources said that the QBE deal aside, Berkshire has been very quiet during the January 1 renewals, continuing its behavior from 2014 to withdraw aggregate from the U.S. and European cat markets because the prices are too cheap. The QBE global ag cover is known to be relatively expensive. An alarm in the U.S. section of the International Space Station has prompted the 6-person crew to evacuate it and move into the Russian sector and seal it off. The crew is not in danger. NASA has not yet confirmed what caused the alarm. It could be a coolant leak, but most likely they're saying it might be a faulty sensor. The 6-person crew is all together in the Russian module where they have enough food to last for at least a week. The Japanese cabinet has approved the country's largest defense budget with plans to buy surveillance aircraft and F-35 fighter jets to improve defenses of disputed islands amidst China's increasing assertiveness in the region. The budget for the defense budget now comes to about $42 billion. Meanwhile, in the United States, the Speaker of the House, John Boehner, who is a bit of a well-known enjoyer of the good life, playing golf and drinking wine and with a perpetual suntan, has faced an interesting situation as his former bartender at the Wetherington Golf and Country Club in Westchester, Ohio, Mr. Boehner is from Ohio, has been arrested. the former bartender, had made plans to slip poison into his wine because he believed that Mr. Boehner was responsible for two things: the Ebola virus outbreak, and secondly, that he had cooperated with a group of other patrons at the country club to get the man fired. The man who has been arrested now is named Michael Hoyt. Mr. Boehner thanked the FBI and the Capitol Police and local police authorities for arresting the man. And apparently Boehner and his wife had, quote, had a level of awareness of Hoyt since the country club is near their home and he had worked there for several years. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. The Pope continues his trip toward the Philippines. He's in Sri Lanka. Apparently some events were canceled earlier today because he was exhausted. But he still plans to proceed on to Manila, where he will offer Mass at the biggest event ever in the history of those islands. There'll apparently be about 4 to 5 million people present. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.